Hi, I'm Jace,
And I'm Lynn.
and welcome to our channel. We're
Gen
Gen
X
X Quench. Today on Gen X Quench, we have a special guest, Giovanna Bernal of Prime Solutions. And just to let you all know, on this channel, we talk about things that impact the Gen X generation, things like retirement, personal finances, thinking about traveling, thinking about being an expat. And that's a great segue to Giovanna in terms of what she does to help Americans become expats. So Giovanna, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your business?
Sure. Thank you so much, Jais and Lee, for inviting me for this very nice conversation. I will tell you about me. I'm Panamanian 100%. I study here law and also a CPA, an attorney. And I opened Prime Solutions in 2017. I worked for 10 years for a firm that was, dedicated on helping clients on estate planning and tax planning. And I opened the firm 8 years ago, only me. Then we've been taking care of some expats, clients, usually referred by our network of professionals and friends. And then, well, with the years, we got some expats that were trying to come to Panama and live here with the visas. And I happened to meet Charlotte Van Horn. I know that you probably met her. You know her.
Yes.
Yes.
A famous lady and founder of Black Expats in Panama. And she's been such an inspiration. I met her, I helped her with her visas, and she have built, this very nice community of Black expats in Panama. And we had a lot of clients, from her, usually Black expats that come to Panama, retirees, families, and individuals that they want to live in Panama, they want to stay here and enjoy what Panama has to offer. Of course, we have a YouTube channel. We have also expats from all over because Panama, it's quite a popular destination. So we have people, also clients from Colombia, Europe, and other countries as well. And Prime Solutions have grown in the sense that I was one, then five, then last year we were 10, and this year we're 20. And
Wow.
there's a reason why, you might know there's a lot of US expats and trying to, to find ways to have a life in other countries and explore residencies and learn about Panama and be here, and find a second residency and stay in Panama for that reason. So we grow our office, we three attorneys and assistants, paralegals, accounting team, onboarding, and yes, we've been quite busy nowadays.
That's phenomenal. Go from 10 employees to 20 in 1 year, just from the growth. And I can imagine with everything going on, at least in the US, that yes, it's becoming popular looking for a plan B country.
Right. It's a very common conversation as far as like looking for alternatives, and especially with things that happened last year in 2024, the elections, just the state of being. And then I think, like you said, we are friends and fans of Charlotte Van Horn, and we know that her business has done phenomenally well and probably exploded in the last year or so as well. So we see and understand how that could have happened. So that's great that you are growing your business to meet the demands of the people that want to come to Panama and make Panama a home.
Yeah. And that leads into, for the Americans that are clients of yours, what are the different types or the various types of visas that you would assist them with, and what are the differences between those in terms of qualifications?
Sure, yes. The most popular visa is the Pensionado Visa. And the reason why is because the requirements are quite flexible. The income is 1,000 USD. It has to be an income for life, which means that it can come from government, federal, military, VA benefits, municipality, from law enforcement, or any private employment, also for insurance from a bank, an annuity, as long as it's for life. So there's a lot of this is the most popular visa because retirees don't have to work anymore, and they have the chance to move to another country, have a different life, or just learn a new language and things like that. So Pensionado is the number one in our experience. Then we have also the Friendly Nations visa. The Friendly Nations visa has two routes. The one route is the investment where you can purchase property, or you can open a CD, a fixed term deposit with 200K. The investment is 200K. And in 2 years, you can obtain permanent residency.
Okay.
Right. The other route that we have is by setting up a corporation, a business established in Panama. So the applicants, sometimes they have a US business and they replicate that in Panama with the same name, and it's like a branch or extension of their own. Or sometimes they work remotely and they open a business that maybe will be used in a few months, or if they find a business idea as well, they can do. And it's an option that where also the applicant will get in 2 years permanent residency.
Okay.
We also have a visa that's quite popular that is only for US citizens and is for 1 year. It's a temporary short-term visa that won't lead to permanent residency, but it can be extended every year for up to 5 years.
Okay.
Okay.
An option where maybe if you're close to retirement, or if you're close to or you can switch to a permanent residency later, you can do that. Or if you're someone that works remotely, you can get this and work for a short term in Panama, then maybe be back or go to other country as well. So
Okay.
it's good, it's there. Those three are the most, the popular that we work with. We also have a lot of others options. For example, we have the digital nomad visa for short-term work remote, the persons that work remotely, or they have their own business and they can get at least an income of 36,000 USD.
Okay.
And usually it's only for 9 months. So most applicants will be in Panama for a short term, and they maybe go to other country like that, like digital nomads. And the other one that we have is the professional visa. The professional visa needs a validation from the University of Panama, which means that there's a validation process of your degree. This is not a straightforward visa, but it's an option that is there. If you have the patience to see if it works, if it doesn't work, your
Right.
title, if it's a known title, maybe it won't work because they ask for transcripts and a lot of information on what you study. But if the degree is successfully admitted and reviewed, then it's an option to apply for permanent residency through the professional visa.
Okay. Very good. Now,
Going back to Pensionado, that is a path to permanent resident. I mean, when you go through the Pensionado visa, how soon can you become a permanent resident? Because it's not necessarily right off the bat, is it, when you file the paperwork? Or is it?
Oh, yes, yes. The Pensionado visa is very straightforward. So as soon as it's applied, when we apply for this visa, in less than 6 months, the applicant will receive permanent residency.
okay.
And they schedule that, with all the discounts we have available for retirees and not only retirees. Also, if you're a woman and more than 55 and a man above 60, you could also get those benefits for the pensionado, 25% of airline tickets,
Okay.
transportation, healthcare, medicines, and so on.
Very good.
Yeah.
And there's no age range for pensionado. As long as you have the $1,000 a month, that's verifiable. You could be 20 or 30 and get it, correct?
Exactly. There's no age, a limit or minimum or a maximum or anything. Yes,
Okay.
we have clients that are military in their 35, in their 40s, and they get these benefits. They come with their families and already are having a life here because they're getting this disability or military benefits. Usually.
Speaking of families, how does, can you speak briefly about like parents and children and what age, and on some of these visas, how, if the one spouse is doing it, can wives or husbands and children or parents, how flexible are some of these visas, or what are the opportunities to bring your family members with you?
Oh, yes, yes. All the visa types, but the digital nomad, you can add your dependents. So you
Okay.
can add children as long as they are no more than 25 years old.
Okay.
If they are more than 18 years old, they need to be single and studying at college or university. You can add your parents. You can add your spouse as well. You can add a family member that has a disability.
Right.
Okay.
It depends on you as well.
Mhm.
So yes, that is a good option. Basically, what is needed is to prove that you are family related by birth certificate or marriage certificate.
Okay.
Okay.
So you just have to prove the connection as far as who that is to have paperwork that supports that.
And
Right, right.
that leads to another question. You talked about paperwork. What is the most common types of paperwork you would need for these type of visas to qualify or to bring with you or to send to you in advance?
Sure. The most important document is the background check, the
Mm.
FBI report, the history summary check.
Okay.
It's usually obtained, we recommend using the online option, which is going to a USPS office location near you, do your fingerprints electronically, and they'll send you the report in a few hours or days. I'm not sure how it's right now,
Yeah.
but it's
Right.
fast.
Mhm.
It's fast. And that needs to be authenticated by the Panama consulate in the US. Any Panama consulate that's near you, it can be done. And also we have the apostille that's done by the Department of State. We recommend the department, the Panama consulate, we recommend using the Panama consulate because if you have your FBI, into the apostille, it has to be done through the Department of State of Washington. So it's like you do something in Washington and something in your state. So I think it's better, or if you can hire a company to help you do that, that's also fine. But we accept apostille, but also a stamp by any Panamanian consulate in the US.
Okay.
Okay. Very
Okay.
good.
So the FBI background check, and then what other documents or paperwork are typically needed for some of, for the most popular visas? I mean, I assume, yeah, for Pensionado, you have to have proof of the funds and that type of thing. But what's timing and how old do the documents have to be, or new, or how recent, those types of things?
Yes, if you add independence, you will need the birth certificates and marriage certificate in the applications as well. Those need to be stamped by the Panama consulate in the US or apostille. If you're applying for Pensionado Visa, a verification letter that shows the income is needed as well. Only that. And then the process is like this. There's one visit that needs to be done in Panama to secure and obtain the picture of the temporary ID.
Okay.
A second trip to obtain the residency. It
Mhm.
usually takes about no more than 6 months to get an approval. Nowadays, immigration office is approving in 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
But they're approving fast. And once it's approved, we let the applicant know so can make the second trip when it's ready to Panama and get that picture of the residency ID. That's it. Another thing that's important is that documents are only good for 6 months. So
Okay.
the visit needs to be within those 6 months in Panama. And also to keep residency in good standing, you need to be in Panama one entry at least once every 2 years.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. That's very good to know. So people, if you're planning to do this, you got to be in Panama every 2 years. Not that that's not a that's a good thing because
Right.
Panama's fun and we love the people. But that leads into another question. So you being a native Panamanian, what would be your sales pitch? Obviously, somebody should visit a country if they're considering getting residency or want to live there. But for you, what do you love living in Panama?
Oh yes, I like Panama because Panama is, it's a country that is very peaceful. We're very friendly, the way we live. Of course, sometimes we can be stressed because of work and things like that, like anywhere else. But as soon as we're out and we really have fun during our weekends, and the people, you will see when you come, and I tell everyone, come to Panama, explore by yourself, enjoy the city, the city life, what we have to offer. Go to the countryside, the beaches, the mountains. We have many, environments and climates. And I would say that that's very, very good, about Panama. The location, because from Panama you can travel to any city that we have a lot of direct flights because we are a hub. So it's
Right.
easy to fly to go to Europe, South America, North America. Also, that we have the USD, and that's also very convenient for US citizens. You can use your debit card and withdraw sometimes with no commission or anything, and no conversion rates and anything like that.
Right.
Mhm.
And then territorial tax.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the
I
finance
almost
guy over
forget.
here.
I almost forget. Territorial tax. That's also makes Panama very attractive.
Okay.
Territorial tax means that that the income that is earned in the Panamanian territory is taxed. We don't tax foreign income. We, as other countries like in the US, they tax on the worldwide income by nationality. In Panama, we tax only what's earned in the Panama territory. So that's very convenient because you can be a tax resident here and we won't tax your pension, your foreign income, your dividends from your business in the US, or any income that you earn in the US or any other country in the world is not taxed here.
Mhm.
Very
Even your
good.
investment, your stuff, if you have investment here, we have a bank account earning money from a city, that is not taxed here.
Oh, wow. I
Okay.
didn't know that.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's good to know. Good to
Very
know. So, for anyone that is watching and listening and wants to reach out to you or your team, can you identify, what's the best way for people to, follow you, social media, internet, or even if they're like, oh, I want to find out more and want to really talk to someone, what are the options for people to reach out to you?
Yes, I would say that the best option is through our website. It's www.primesls.com. And there's an option there to book a free consultation. So what we do is that we advise, we have a consultation where we hear the prospect about the options, what they're interested in, if it's a visa. Also, we receive also a lot of Panamanian by descendant, like their parents were Panamanians living in
Okay.
the US. That's also a very good trend for the visas, and we get and give the advice, that's necessary, and then we send the quote and the requirements and all that. So that I would say that's the best way. We can also share our email and contact information, but the free consultation by Zoom or Teams is very effective.
Yeah, we will pin your website to this video along with the video Black Expats in Panama, who Giovanna partners with. So we'll pin that as well. So
Right. Yes, we'll definitely do that. Encourage everybody to go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe to our channel. But I think that that's a great thing for anybody, is thinking about, I'm thinking about it and want to know more. It's a good thing and it's appreciated as far as that free consultation is that, okay, let me see to really have full understanding because it's a big trip. It's a
yes.
big thing as far as like moving someplace or thinking about moving you and your family. And so that is great that you are willing, you and your team, to sit down and talk to people and basically be like, okay, let me answer your questions and this is what the process is. And speaking of that process, how much time is needed in the country as far as like, okay, someone has a consultation and you talk to them and they're like, yes, we want to move forward. We're going to do the background check because I assume a lot of this can be handled in advance, before you come. But then when they come, how long do they need to stay in Panama?
Oh, yes, sure. What we recommend is that first we get the documents by courier, to make sure we have them and we can start processing them and translating them and get them ready. We recommend that you can stay in Panama for at least 5 working days. That's the regular. If it's another visa like Friendly Nations by setting up a corporation, we recommend 2 weeks
Okay.
to complete the business if it's necessary or obtaining a work permit. But usually 5 working days are enough to secure and obtain the permanent type of residency.
Okay. Very good.
Very good. Wonderful.
I think that's all that at least I can think of. What about yourself?
I think we're good. Giovanna, did we miss anything? I think we've covered a lot of the basics as far as like what are the visa types and how to work with your team. So I think.
Anything you want to share, I guess, for parting words before we leave today?
Okay, well, yes, I would suggest like it's good if you haven't heard about Panama before to read about Panama, watch YouTube videos. I think that like yours or other videos that can be, a lot of good content and value, to learn about Panama and make a trip to Panama. I think it's not far. It's just a few hours, depending on where you are, but you won't regret, you know, it will be a good option. I have faced that some people tell me, a lady told me yesterday, like, oh, wow, I didn't know about Panama. I was trying to apply for Mexico, but I don't have the income anymore. They changed the rules. It's now more money. And nobody told me about Panama. And then I had a friend that told me about Panama, and she was like, oh, some people think about going to Ecuador and or Portugal, and then they realized, you know, that Panama is there. So that would be my advice. Like, don't forget about Panama.
Right. Panama is definitely a good option to add to the list and probably end up at the top of the list. So Giovanna, we appreciate you and thank you for taking this time.
Tienen buen día y muchas gracias.
Gracias. Thank
All
you.
right, take care.
Thank you so much, Gen X Quench crew. We will see you on the next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Thank you.
Thank you.